Hello, Honkers fans. Welcome to Meet the Honkers, episode 3. I'm Justin Velazquez, joined by one of the returners to the Rochester Honkers this season, Carson Stevens. How's it going?
It's going good. Just here in San Luis Obispo, so hanging out.
Let's jump right into it, Carson. Want to go right to high school. You went to Franklin High School in California. Two-sport athlete, baseball and football. What was your favorite sport, though?
My favorite sport was always baseball. I played football just because my dad always wanted me to be physical. And playing two sports in high school kind of gives you an advantage, like to meet people, and like honestly gets you more athletic. So I don't know. For me, playing football and baseball it always kept me in shape for both sports. But I've always loved baseball. So I've played since I was little, and football did help a lot, like getting me tougher and, mentally like talking myself into stuff. And so it's been a good journey, and football has honestly helped me a lot, but baseball's always been like my favorite sport since I was a little kid. So.
All right, so you're from California, so Giants or Dodgers?
I'm a Giants fan.
Okay. So. Flores definitely didn't swing.
No, he didn't.
I'm a Mets fan. So Wilmer Flores has like 9 walk-offs for the Mets in his career. So like when he comes to the plate, part of me is like, man, this guy's facing Max Scherzer. I don't know how this is going to go. The other part of me is remembering all these big home runs he hit with the Mets. And I'm like, my God, what if he just jacks one,
I don't think he went on that pitch. That umpire, I think he already had the predetermined call before he swung. So it's a shame, but I guess it's always next year, right?
Yeah.
This year.
That really was a tremendous series, all 5 games, close games, well, really competitive. 2 best teams in the National League all year. Really kind of a shame we didn't get, 7 games of that, but, the Braves went on to win the whole thing. So.
Heck yeah. Next year.
Hopefully. All right, so I found this really interesting in your high school career. You caught perfect game and 2 no-hitters. So as the broadcaster of the Honkers, should I just have that in the back of my mind every time you're behind the plate that, guy in the bump might throw, a no-hitter coming up?
Yeah, I mean, so my sophomore year I was on varsity, kind of got my feet wet, didn't really play much. We had a senior in front of me. Got some ABs, got to catch, needed to get more physical. And then my junior year, it was kind of like our best year ever at Franklin High School. So basically we had, I have a twin brother. He's a lefty pitcher, had the opportunity to catch him, kind of like the twin duo behind the plate. It was awesome. And then the perfect game was like probably one of the most like craziest games I've ever caught in my life. Just because like there was no one on base, right? Like no walks. It was just unbelievable. The pitcher that threw it was Evan Gibbons. And so like everyone was just selling out for him. I was selling out. Calling a good game. And it was against one of the best teams in our area. So I don't know if you know who Hunter Duro is. Who else is on that team? Devro Harris, the closer for Long Beach, was on that team. So a couple big names on that team. Cole Elvis he's at Cal. So it was a very good game, and it was just unbelievable. One of the biggest moments of my life. So
yeah, that year, your junior year, you guys won the Delta League championship, right? How was that for you?
It was like I said, it was unbelievable. The team, I think we had our shortstop was going to Nevada. Our center fielder, Chase Davis, was a high draft prospect. He's at U of A now, hitting 4th or 3rd form. Then my twin brother was going to University of Pacific, where he is now. And then we had a pitcher going to Sac State that was running up to 94, 95. And we just all across the board, team culture, environment. My high school coach, Kilby, was just unbelievable. The guy's knowledge for the game has been it's helped me a lot, especially at the college level. So he's prepared every guy that's ever went through that program. So
Yeah, so your junior season, you had a lot of team success. Obviously, you had some individual success as well, helping out the team. But your senior year, you kind of blow up, right? You hit 320, almost as many RBIs as games played. First team All Delta League. What clicked for you your senior season?
So like I said, I was always overlooked just because of my size. And so being 5'10" and a buck 55 in high school, not mature, not ready to play with, 23-year-olds, 22-year-olds in college. I was always overlooked. And so when I was told like, man, like you need to gain weight, you need to get stronger, you need to get faster, I took it personal. And so for me, it was like my dream is to play college baseball and play at the highest level possible. And so in order to do that, I really had to commit to the weight room. And then later in my game, it was like, okay, baseball is super mental, right? And so the mental game became like a part of my play. And so when I eventually got to college, I was already ahead. One of my catching coaches, Brad Kilby, like he played for the A's. He's a pitcher. He just told me how important the mental game was, even starting it now. And so for me, it was like reading books, just kind of like taking like, flushers, taking time just to focus on myself and my mental game for baseball. And so in high school, like that senior year was my year of like huge development, huge jumps, and playing with good teammates, guys that have your back. It just I think that's what made the huge difference in my senior year to junior year. So.
And like that, those things you talked about, like not only does that help, on the diamond, but also just in life in general, right? How
Yeah.
important has that been to you just personally?
It's super important. Like I said, baseball is more than a game to me. It's like I absolutely love it, and it teaches you life experiences because later in life when you have a job, there's going to be tough times, right? Like baseball's a game of failure, so you're going to fail when you succeed. So like obviously, I'm sure like when you have a job, family, wife, kids, like you're going to fail. Like there's going to be times where you fail in life, and so baseball's taught me like to use my mental game, and like prepare for failure and know what to do and know how to react. So
Yeah, and let's go to college now. Your
Mhm.
college journey has been really challenging mentally, right? You commit to San Joaquin Delta. Your freshman year is cut short due to COVID. 2021 season is canceled. How did you deal with that?
So I went to Delta my freshman year. I ended up, it was me and a catcher named Dylan Tatum. He's in the Twins organization now. But basically, coming in as a freshman, playing with older guys, I was told at Delta that like Delta brings in the best talent for junior college in California. So I knew there was going to be talent. I knew, you know, everyone that I played with was going to be good, if not better. And so for me, it was like, if I wanted to play D1 baseball, I wanted to be surrounded by those guys. And so I went to Delta. Same thing. They told me I need to put on weight. I need to change my whole catching philosophy. My catching coach is now one of the minor league catching coaches for the Padres. So he's completely changed my whole catching game, my whole catching style it's improved like crazy. So I took that. I grew as a person. Obviously, Delta is huge on the mental game as well. We had a class just on mental game. Um, and so, yeah, I got stronger, more physical. And then COVID got shut down, and then there was no baseball. And so for me, I was thankful that Delta has a lot of like guys that are in the pros that need to keep throwing because MLB was kind of like shut down as well, right? Like not much COVID. Minor league games were gone. So all the minor leaguers, they'd always come back to Delta and they need guys to throw to, right? And so for me, it was an opportunity to get better because catching bullpens would help me like, get better, influence my game. So I took that summer just to like work out, catch bullpens and just work on me and it really helped. And then this last year, we didn't have a season. So we just inter squatted, and then I basically just had like all the hard work I put in during COVID. Basically, just it was like wow, everything started clicking. So it was a grind. It was definitely weird, not being able to play against the best like other teams, but Delta has the best competition you possibly have. So when we're inter squatting, it's like you're facing guys who are just as good that you'd be facing playing teams. So
I want to go back to your catching. You say you completely revamped that. Is that like your squat framing, how you're calling?
yeah. So at first, like I never knew. Like I always saw guys like catching on a knee, right? And like I never knew what the philosophy was. I was always a 2 feet in the ground catching. Brian Watley just kind of like broke down like why do you do that? Why do you go to a knee? Like what does it do? And the main reasons, like obviously you want to steal pitches. So like nowadays every pitcher wants to miss low, right? And so in order to steal those pitches, if you're on 2 feet, it's hard to get under the ball and make them strikes.
Mm-hmm.
So everything like went into play, like right knee up for right-handed batter, and then left knee up for left-handed batter, just to take away the reference point for an umpire. Stuff like little things that like you would never know. So it just like all these little things, vision training, like we do this Victus ball thing where it's like blinks different colors, right? Things that like Delta's program just they do things to get you to the next level. Like their jobs to get you there, and so like they really take care of you, and they help me tremendously. So,
do you think that maybe period where the season gets canceled, previous season is cut short, maybe like in the long run that maybe helped you a little more?
I think it helped me a little bit just because I was able to like get stronger. Like I took it as an advantage to me, because I got to mature, I got to get stronger, I got older, and so I took that time to like really grind it and make the most of it, right? Like try not to sit at home and just like not do anything. I was running, I was working out, I was hitting, I was like everything I could do just to get better so that when I came back to play baseball, it was like it was good, man. So, and I think missing the game was like, that influenced me too. It was like I miss it so much.
Yeah.
So.
You had to be really excited to play with the Honkers last year, playing some sort of competitive baseball, right? How important has summer ball been for you because of the fact you missed that season and had another season get cut short?
Yeah. So honestly, since I didn't, so my first game was obviously like my first real game was actually with the Honkers, and so, or no, it was with the Rocks. Rocks. Yeah. So my first game, I was extremely nervous. I was like, shoot, like this is real, right? Like it's baseball, and so I went out there and I was a little nervous. First summer game ever. I never played summer ball. Northwoods League's a super competitive league, a lot of good talent. So I was like, shoot, like it's my time, right? Like it's my time to make an impact on like who I am as a player and who I am as a person. And so like I took that as like an opportunity to get better, meet people. And so I don't know, I was super excited to be there. And then I ended up, it was a temporary contract, right? And so my coach at Delta got me the temp contract. They ended up bringing in a little bit more catchers than they expected. And so I was actually flying home back to California because I played, I think, 15 games for for Rochester or for Rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And then the coach of the Honkers called me. I was like, hey, like, we need a catcher. You want to come play for us for the rest of the summer? And I was like, yeah, I'm not missing this opportunity. So I flew back, I think it was 3 days later. And then I just, fell in love with the team, fell in love with the coaches, fell in love with my host dad. So it was just, I mean, it was awesome. It was probably one of the best experience I've ever had. So.
Yeah, and you come to Rochester and you put up big numbers, OPS of 931. You have this big season with the Honkers. How important was that for you? Just, playing competitive baseball consistently again and at a high level?
It was super important to me just because, Cal Poly, like recruiting was also messed up. Like they couldn't go out recruit because COVID, right? We weren't playing. And so like for me, it was like, if I have a good summer, like that impacts maybe like what my college thinks of me, you know? I'm representing like, Delta College, so they're trying to get guys out to summer teams. There's a lot of like you represent everyone who's like, helped you out to play baseball. And so for me, it was like, I gotta perform. So like all these people that help me out, they look good. And especially for me. And so I took it as an advantage, and I love playing for Rochester. So that's why I'm back.
There you go. That's it. And now, speaking of looking good, you've got two brothers that look really good on the diamond. Your younger brother Nolan is committed to Mississippi State, #1 ranked player in California. Your twin brother Grant, which I didn't even know he was your twin brother coming into this, led the University of the Pacific in ERA last year. How cool is that for you to see two brothers having massive success?
It's unbelievable. My brothers are my two best friends. Like we always talk. My dad and my parents have always supported me. Like from ever since I was a little kid, my parents have taken me to sporting events. My dad's coached me growing up. My dad golfed in college, so it was like he knew what it took to play in college. He knew the grind, and my dad always was there for me ever since I was young, for all my brothers. And then little one, Nolan, the one that's #1 in California, he was always our bat boy since he was 4 years old. So he's out there, with older kids throwing around the baseball. And so he just got the experience at a young age. And so, he's doing his thing. He's supposed to be drafted next year high. My twin brother, same thing. My parents just really, made us these baseball players because they knew we could do it. They helped us. They gave us like everything we could have needed to be able to be successful. So.
And Nolan goes to Franklin High School now, right? You went to Franklin High School. So the Stevens family are you guys a pretty big deal over there?
Yeah, the Stevens family, they're all baseball players. Nolan's unbelievable. I've never seen he's 16 and he has the height in the family, so he's 6'4", and he's like 215. So he's a big guy. Lefty, throws, I think he's touching 94, hits the ball. He has a raw power. So I'm excited to see what his impact on baseball is in the future. And then Grant just loves the game like me. We were both super little in high school, and we just played with kind of like a chip on our shoulder, like, I'm small, but who cares? So that was kind of our mentality, kind of be a grinder.
Were you guys really competitive growing up?
Yeah, every sport we play, like if it was on the golf course, like we were always trying to beat each other. Playing basketball when we were little, football, like I was always trying to run them over. Just we're both super competitive people, and so having two older brothers to influence the little one, it's just that's like what you want as a brother. So, and I think that's what we've done for Nolan. Like he's always looked up. He's always got he's got the baseball IQ so young. So, and we learn stuff, we tell him, we help him out. And so he knows a lot more than a 16-year-old, knows in the game of baseball. So
who won most of the games growing up though?
So my twin's better than me at golf. He's a pitcher, so he just golfed a little bit. Football, I was always more physical. So like catching, obviously, like Payne for me was always like, I could play football, I could catch. Let's say what else? Basketball. He always had a better shot than me. He always knew how to dribble better than me. I didn't really play basketball much growing up. He always just would always like. His thing was he's always very like if he gets like addicted to like games, so like if it's basketball, he has to be good at it. If it's baseball, he has to be really good at it. And so he always is trying to beat me. But I don't know. I'd say it's pretty even. Ping pong, he's got me.
Ping pong? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. Well, you're going into your first season with the Mustangs now. So what are your goals coming up here?
So my goal going to Cal Poly, I don't know if you know, but our shortstop is supposed to go top 5 this year in the draft. He's the #1 shortstop in college baseball. For me, growing up, I played with Brooks. I knew Cal Poly's atmosphere was awesome, and Coach Lee kind of just told me like they're building a program here that they want to make it to a World Series this year. And I think that's every kid's dream in college is obviously to play in Omaha. And so we also have a pitcher. He's like one of the top 10 pitchers and like starting pitchers in the country. His name's Drew Thorpe. They're both on the USA team this summer, playing the Cape. But I mean, we have, 5 fifth years. So we're super old this year. So they kind of sold out for older guys. They want, they wanted guys ready to play. And so for me, like my dream at Cal Poly is obviously make it to a World Series, whether it be playing, any way I can help contribute to a team to win is like, that's what I want. So obviously I want to play, I want to put up numbers and drafts in the future, but right now it's about winning ball games. So.
Gotcha. Is there one particular part of your game though you're looking to improve on?
I mean, probably. I mean, you can always improve on your game. Yeah. So for me, it's like Coach Lee is one of the greatest, best hitting coaches in the country. So like, he's he's giving me pointers on everything I do. My catching coach Greenspan he was at ASU. It's a work in progress of kind of like what he wants me to catch like. And then Silverman was at UCLA and then Nevada. And so we have 3 great coaches, and they really care about the players, and they always are trying to get you better. And so for me, it's like, if there's anything I can improve on, it's basically my whole game. So that's how I look at it. You can always improve, I guess.
Now, I know the Honkers are a little far out into the distance now. That's for summertime, but what are your expectations coming up for this team this summer?
I'm just super excited. I know I talked to Herb a little bit. I know we're getting a lot of good players back. And so obviously, winning's fun. To me, winning, that's what baseball is. Like, you should go out there and you have 80% that day, you give your 100% of 80. And so I think this year, like, we're looking to win, we all want to win. I guess summer's like, it's a good time for development. It's a good time to like get ABs, but all that stuff's important. But for me, it's like, it'd be nice to win. So I know we have a lot of good players coming back. Jack, there's a lot of good returners. So I'm super pumped for this season, and I just can't wait to get back out there and compete. So.
Now, I know you're from California, but you spent some time in Minnesota last year. So for someone that has never been to Minnesota, what should I expect?
The weather, it's beautiful. Like, the weather's good some days we get a storm rolling in, and other than that, Rochester the weather was pretty good. It didn't rain much, and I think it rained once in Rochester. The weather was honestly not bad at all. Not too cold, not too hot. I remember there was 1 week where it was pretty hot, but other than that, weather's pretty good there. So especially in the summer, the winter I heard it's freezing. So
I
couldn't imagine.
I spoke to Clint the other day, and he told me it was like 9 degrees.
Really?
I don't envy him at all. But appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Episode 3, Carson. Anything you would like to say, like a quick statement to the fans?
No, I'm excited to play for the Honkers again. Want to go out there and win some games for you guys, and thank you guys for your support. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Honkers fans, for watching Meet the Honkers episode 3. Don't forget, every episode comes out each Friday at noon Central. I'll see you for episode 4.